We are live. Or back on screen.
True, exactly. Either one works.
We're back.
Welcome
back, everybody.
Hello.
So, where we left off was after the attack of the strange creatures that, what is it? Someone said, Thanos? When they died.
They got
Yeah.
blipped.
They got blipped once they
Endgame.
died. You managed to extract some body parts for examination before they were blipped.
Yeah, we'll put those to the gambit later.
Yep. And you were en route to the Memorial Hospital of North Bennington. From where you guys had the incident with the busted tire and the creatures, was about 30 minutes north of the hospital, from where you guys picked up the patient. When you're arriving at the hospital, the patient is still stable. You can make one more attempt to extract a brand piece before the cauterization takes effect. Oh, sorry. I figured the medical guy would do it. You can try.
I'm
you
good.
can go for it, but you don't have a medical bonus.
68.
Didn't clear the.
Does not want me to get a sample of
No.
this one.
Even on the final thing, is there any other things you want to do to the patient before you prepare for drop-off? Because at this point, it's basically just you're being backed into the spot, basically. Pull up to the hospital.
Photos of the sigil.
Yep. Blood samples.
Already took blood samples. Skin samples.
Yeah. Scrape the nails.
Not much you get from hair and nails.
Do you want to check?
No.
Okay. So, as you pull up to the hospital, this is you guys' first time being at the hospital. You reference that you've been here before in your months here, so. It is a rather simple, basic hospital. Looks to be kind of a rural area. It's surrounded in the middle of a giant wooded area. There's another building that's separate that appears to be some type of. You do see a sign referencing it as you're pulling into the property. It's on campus. It's a psychiatric hospital. That looks to be much more. Well, this hospital does seem to have modern architecture. The psychiatric unit is much more original feel, probably over 100 years old, one of the old buildings. Looks to be like it could have been an old mill at one point. And the Pasquat River, which goes through all of North Bennington, does have an outlet that does come around the back of the hospital. It's not the main river that the rowboat would have went down. It's a side outlet.
So we're not going to see that one dog
No.
just swim by.
All right.
No.
Do I recognize the orderlies that are at the front entrance?
You recognize one orderly who seems to be the hospital chief of staff, Stewart, is his last name, as far as you know. And then there's another doctor that you've never seen before on your previous visits. It's a male doctor. He's wearing a full doctor's outfit. Slightly balding, older man, but he's with the orderly at the door when you guys pull up.
All right. Pull open the back doors. Stewie! They had me come to the front door today.
You see him look up, see the vehicle, sigh, look up. Hello, Sadim. Good to see you again. We have not requested your assistance with any patients as far as I know.
Oh, no. The other boss did.
Oh, you see him let out a big sigh. You gather that there's paperwork when he shows up. The best way I can describe it nicely.
Your friend, I assume.
Sure.
You see him kind of just roll his eyes. You do hear him say under his breath something on the basis of, you can't argue with results, no matter how much paperwork it inevitably causes.
No, Latham, delivery.
Ah, yes. You see the doctor now who hasn't spoken take a step forward, and you see him in a really monotone voice. So, you're the deliverers of the patient?
Hi, she's stabilized for now, but you're going to need an exorcist.
You see him just solemnly nod. One of those. Accepted. Take her down. He calls out to these guys, which I assume are ready to take down the patient.
Yeah.
Do you want Shadow to do it, or do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
Okay. So Shadow hangs out in the back and then leaves once the patient is brought out. You guys bring out the patient, who is still in a comatose state. Her eyes are glazed over but open, and she still has. And do you have her hooked up to a machine, or just you do see the small machine that has her heart rate and BP just listing. It's low. It's basically the average human heart rate is 120/80. Hers is at approximately 70/50.
So, Stewie, you taking my equipment or am I taking it back?
You see Stuart kind of look at you and says, I am not.
Unhooking my stuff and
Thank you, Sadie.
leave the IV and that kind of stuff because I'm charging up the ass for that anyway. But
That much they wouldn't taking out of a patient right now anyways. The biometrics.
if I was in a jerky mood, I would be.
Yeah. But the doctor then goes around and guides you to escort the patient into an examination room. Do you follow?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yep, no. And you also see Shadow just basically kind of get out of the vehicle and just hang out in the loading area. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check on Sven. Make sure he's okay.
Yep.
Getting out of the car is an issue for him.
So you guys bring the patient into this examination area, where, as you see, there is only one woman who appears to be a secretary of type, maybe a nurse, taking notes. You see that the doctor motions you to place the patient in the examination area. It looks to be a operating theater, one of the ones they use for classes or seminars. And then basically he nods to you and you guys head back to the vehicle.
Yeah.
All right, make a quick observation check. You two.
After I know Sven's okay, I'll just text boss delivered.
51.
They have weird paintings. You see nothing.
Sure is a building.
Yeah, they have weird paintings as you guys are being brought around this area. I mean, it only describes the shit you see in Paradise Lost.
Okay.
But that is it. Yep, so you guys get back to the vehicle. And basically Stuart says that you see him actually as the doctor was leaving the area, he was side-eyeing him. You do see that, and you've met Stuart enough times to realize that he doesn't appear to trust this new doctor.
So before they get back, because I'm sure they'll be gone for a few more minutes. Then
yeah, it's going to take you a few minutes to walk through the hospital and go through 6 doors.
Yeah, as soon as I talk to Sven and know he's fine.
Yep.
So Stewie, what's this all about?
Recent transfer in.
I get that much shit. This is some fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, no, he's some type of specialist. Takes weird cases. I don't really understand it. It doesn't even seem half the time that the shit that he brings into the lab is even related to medical cases.
This isn't really a medical case.
He says that, he shrugs, and he just says,
reach in and pull out the tongue.
Stuart takes 3 steps back, looks at it really oddly. I've never seen an animal with that.
Me neither. Interesting, isn't it?
He makes a comment that he's only stuff he's seen like that I'm not gonna bother doing his voice because it's annoying. But basically he tells you that according to what they've got,
I'm fishing for info.
He actually pulls out a stack of papers that he has and is basically his what you see as a attendant sheet list. And he looks and he says that kind of item would cause similar injuries to what these are. And he lists off a couple of injuries they've been brought in recently. He references that the marsh location that there was a sewage detail working in. 2 of the guys came back beaten up in ways that he didn't recognize. And that location he references is the Delane marshlands. And he even says that that place was always known as a creepy place, but now it seems that anytime someone goes that way, they bump into something that hurts them pretty fiercely. He also tells you that
sucks to be there.
He says that it's, and he tells you that what you know as from being word of mouth in town, it's at least basically almost 8 miles of marshland west of North Bennington. And
so now you're getting into demon shit, huh?
He looks at you and says, I'll pee this part out. In a world of superheroes, villains, and shit, I can't say that demon shocks me anymore.
Oh, me neither.
This orderly has been here for a while, and he's the hospital chief of staff. And, but he says that nothing shocks him. He's seen it all. And mind you, like, from what you heard, he does mention that, he said that also they've had a couple people who entered the tunnels, the Walsh cutoff tunnels. He says that he just heard about a missing persons report from there.
Welsh cutoff tunnels?
Yep. He said that he heard it on the CB radio in the nurse's office. It looks like a 12-year-old girl was taking a shortcut home, and they think that she may have possibly fallen into one of the old tunnel air holes, basically, or may have been snatched. He just heard about it about 25 minutes ago.
Alright. Not much I can do about that.
So, yeah.
I'm guessing this would be about when they get back then.
Yep, about that point after you've been chit-chatting for a couple minutes, just getting the lowdown. You guys arrive back from the delivery.
And you hear me say, well, too bad for that little girl, but not much I can really do about that.
What's this about a little girl?
12-year-old got nabbed in the tunnel apparently and disappeared about a half hour ago.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a tracker though, so I'm not going to be able to help much.
To do with those things we fight. Me neither, but it's a 12-year-old girl in trouble. Aren't we heroes?
Not specifically. I mean, you can maybe roll that way, but that's not part of the deal.
I'm not getting paid to be a hero. I'm just a medic.
You actually see that Shadow walks forward, and then he kind of says, I'm a tracker. Little girl, I could find her if I get something with a scent on it. We can check around if you want. I'm figured, why not, since I'm here.
What do I get for
That's how I built him.
God damn it.
Not my fault that you guys are like, well, I'm not a tracker. Well, shit, I made a character who is, who's built into his backstory.
I'm off the clock for the rest of the night, so... You guys need a ride home, or...?
Can't you put it on your expense report, Johnny? Charge them for time.
When you start milking for money, people think of ways you can do it.
Jesus, suggest. It could even be a reward for the 12-year-old girl. Who knows?
If you ask.
Well, I suppose I could try to expense it. So,
To save the day.
So, what,
For
you guys-
money.
For
So,
money!
Do you guys want to go to the tunnel then?
Sure, let's go to the tunnel.
We've got a tracker. Might as well.
Stuart says, well, excellent. Don't want a little girl to go missing and not be found again. He gives you the address of the last location was listed off in the CB. It's basically one of the old tunnel exits from an abandoned construction project.
What organization's looking into it right now?
He says that the PD have an APB, the standard Amber Alert, the usual state stuff that wouldn't change. He says that at the moment, if there are any organizations or at least a bounty or a reward, your best bet would be check out the Ace of Spades. I guess one of her family members is connected to that bar. That might be the place for information.
Get back in that truck after that then, and hey Sven, look into this.
Should we head to the Ace of Spades first and see if we can get some more info?
Do you want him to reach out?
Send?
Sure. Sven's pretty technical like that. He can make calls and drive at the same time.
Oh yeah. So as you guys are driving, within 10 minutes, something pings. The Ace of Spades has put up a bounty for the safe return of the girl.
How much? I knew I was gonna ask.
I know. I'm doing the math in my head. It's 2004, right? I'm taking inflation into account. 12,000.
Okay.
It looks to be put up, and when Sven gives you the information, it's listed by the Ace of Spades. There's no direct private number. It's actually directed right from the business.
Okay.
And it is
monitoring the police channel. Any news?
According to what they say, no spikes on the Amber Alert listed through the New England territories. No descriptions matching this 12-year-old girl have been spotted within a 600-mile radius at this time.
Okay.
Basically, just an update. There's a couple of sheriffs, because FYI metagame information. All the police, for what this is, are sheriffs. The New England territories run sheriffs. So the sheriffs have a couple of cars looking. They do not have the manpower at the moment to actually investigate any of the tunnels. So basically, yeah, that's the information they have.
All right, so then we'll head towards the tunnel.
Okay.
Actually, we were heading towards the tunnel the whole time, so...
Yeah, no, I figured that much. Yep, Sven reaches out to the Ace of Spades, and at the Ace of Spades, one of the employees, Sarah, replies to his email response. I mean, on his BlackBerry, right?
Yeah.
Well, his is
Sven
probably
has
more of a
his own.
laptop.
Sven is probably, like, hardwired into it at this point.
I would not be shocked.
He-
Sarah
He is the
responds
truck.
and references that it's her, if you're willing to accept the, basically the escort finding search party request.
It's a search and retrieve.
Search and retrieve. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word retrieve. Search and retrieve request.
What's the girl's name?
The girl's name is Linda. And you have a base description that is provided of her last physical description. She is a blonde, approximately 4.5 foot tall, 13-year-old girl. She was last seen wearing a yellow coat and a basically blue pants.
Okay. You sure we want to be doing this?
extra money to get out of it.
All right.
And you also see attached to the email is this will be considered if you guys are able to take care of it. The owner of the Ace of Spades is a man named McMasters. This will be considered a personal favor to him that he will return on top of the money. And he is known as Barkeep McMasters. It takes, I have to go get a map, but it'll take you pretty much about 45 minutes to drive east of the North Bennington to get to where the cutoff is.
Okay. So I'm going to take a look in our inventory. Do I have flashlights that are fully charged and ready, enough for all of us, ropes, a little bit of minor climbing gear, just in case. We're going into tunnels, so
Yeah, no.
I'm going to go through my list of what I need to be prepared with. And if we don't have it on hand, is there anywhere on the way to pick it up?
I have
Yep. You have the flashlights because power outages inside of them. You have plenty of flashlights and they're charged. You don't. I wouldn't say you normally have climbing gear on your vehicle at all times.
Yeah.
That's the only one. I'll roll for it to see if you have something. I'll be generous with that. 80. So yeah, you end up having some basic gear, some clamps, nothing heavy, but
Just
also,
the basics.
mind you, this was not a deep tunnel, so you're not worried about dropping into a cavern system.
no endless abysses.
No endless abysses here.
And I've got about 30.
Yep. And that's pretty much all you need. It's and you do have your medical bag and kits, all that's all stocked and everything. Any other things that you need to know if you have?
If you don't mind me being too personal, give me a bit of a rundown of what you guys can do.
I was an acrobat,
All right.
so
An acrobat.
yeah.
Okay. And what's your special spiffy anomaly?
I can change into different animals.
That is fucking awesome. All right. So, if you don't mind me asking, what's the drawback?
Drawback.
It's gonna be painful.
Change back isn't too pleasant. No, I can turn into a howler monkey. So
Experiment on them.
I knew there was something I didn't like about you. You killed my parrot now.
I did not kill any of them. I was the only person who had a howler monkey that lived to be over 140. Howler monkeys usually live to be about 10 to 15, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A 20-year-old is like a decrepit old man of
It's
its
fucking
pack.
immortal.
I could also turn into a raven.
Both the Raven
That's
Nevermore.
way cooler. Than I can do.
Yeah, so what can you do?
I can move pretty fast, see pretty fast, get pelted. Pretty.
And what's the drawback of that for you?
Yeah. I've got some.
Plenty of stuff to help with memories. As for the energy, I think I have a few things that might help with that too.
As you're driving, then as they explain, my character just says, my name is Shadow. From Ireland. Grew up there, lived there.
Beautiful.
It is. Not so great in Dublin during the days of the IRA, though.
Not so great much of anywhere.
Got actually worse after the anomaly. I'm an expert tracker, fighter. Predominantly, you gather he's about 30. So he's a little older than you. So grew up, came here when I was a teenager, and got pretty good skills with blades. Also, my particular quirk, I guess you'd call it, is I'm able to give a little boost in reference to my location. Jump high, throw things faster than normal, stuff like that.
So the two of you are pretty close to each other.
Vaguely,
Yeah,
pretty
sort
much.
of similar.
Alright.
One girl out.
What?
Yeah, he's a female character.
My character's female. It's Carrie.
Nice to meet you, Kelly. Kelly. Yeah. Did write that down. Kelly. And Shadow. And Rowan. Rowan? Oh, yeah.
Lord of the
I just thought it sounded weird.
Okay.
No, I'm saying he.
That'd be kind of fun.
Rowan?
Well, Rohan.
Oh, hey.
But
So. You get to the tunnel?
yep.
Police are on scene?
Hmm?
Police are on scene?
Yep, you see that there is a area that was cordoned off that looked to be where they did a quick examination when they first got the report. You see immediately as you guys get out of the vehicle. I'll repeat this part before I switch out the maps. But you basically see that as Shadow jumps out of the vehicle, you see him actually kind of crouch down to the ground. He's basically just examining even the smiles.
He's already getting to work.
Getting to work, basically, yeah.
Do I recognize any of the cops?
The two cops that you see that are in the area, they have a small cordon off. It looks like they opened it up, and then they haven't closed it off. Make a base roll. Just him, because he only was one.
35.
What is it?
35.
These cops don't particularly ring a bell to you, these two sheriffs.
Do they react when I walk closer to them? See if they remember me.
As you start walking closer to them, when you're about 10 feet away, both of them almost simultaneously. That's close enough. Do you stop?
No.
They're kind of looking at you aggressively. But they don't do it. One of them reaches for his gun. The one that rolled higher. But
I pull up my BlackBerry and
They don't
start like
press-
clicking stuff on it as I'm walking towards the tunnel.
they don't make
Just
any
waiting
reaction.
for them to everyone else behind me to follow. I didn't recognize them, so I'm not going to bother to talk to them.
No, they don't
Trying
stop
to
you.
catch up, I guess.
They were told you were coming. They know that you're there. They don't make any... Because you're on a crime scene. You do see the crime scene tape you walked by as you drove up.
Yeah,
But they
I
don't...
just have no regard for personal space
Yeah, no, they don't make any movement towards you. As
or
long
boundaries.
they don't bump into them. That might be bad for you.
No.
But, no, I mean... I'm not... That much I have to roll for, sorry.
No,
But-
but I look like I know what I'm doing. I
Yep.
look like I belong there. I have my medical bag with me. Okay, it's...
Yep.
If there had been any of the cops that have seen me before, they wouldn't have questioned much of anything and probably backed off.
No, they were told to wait there until someone arrived. As far as you can tell, that's what they're doing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna head towards the tunnel, and when I'm just inside the tunnel, just past all the police lines, that's when I'll wait for everyone else to catch up.
Yep. You see him walk in the general vicinity of the cops. They kind of make a grunting noise, but they don't make any actions after. Oh, and
And I'll send a text to the medical examiner for the police department and let them know that they're the people that they have keeping watch for the tunnel for security. The officers here are pretty lackadaisical.
What would they do? Lackadaisical?
Yeah. They didn't make a single move to stop me, question me, or elsewise.
Okay. The medical examiner tells you that the reason that they probably didn't do anything is because the chief of detectives of the detectives of the sheriffs got a call and told them that you would be coming. They're new guys. They do reference that.
That's no fun.
There are no torches. I want to make that clear. But as you get
Oh, yeah, and I
close-
gave everyone a flashlight, right?
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem.
Need any minis?
Yep. Next to the centaur. Next to him. Yep, that's what I need.
And before we start going further into the tunnel, look back at you guys. You're sure you want to do this?
Yeah. Is there a reason you don't?
I want a guaranteed paycheck, and I don't like going into dark and closed places without knowing what's going on. I'm a medic. I'm not a fucking adventurer. I'm not a hero.
We're glad to have you here with us.
Did you while you were in the vehicle on the way to the hospital
Some
after the
things do
incident,
go wrong.
and on way to the cutoff, did you want to provide medical aid to your crew?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all max HP. I just figured I'd make it easy because I figured if they're scratch here, scrunch here, you could take care of it in the vehicle.
Yeah, we'll fuck up them, those guys.
Yeah.
You guys have a few band-aids on.
Yep.
On wounds that are completely healed before the band-aid even is finished drying on there.
Band-Aid.
Did you use your powers?
Probably.
Make a con check, you guys.
If anyone had more than like 10 points of damage...
Wisdom of mind. I guess we have con.
Endurance.
Yeah, endurance. Perfect endurance.
43.
65.
For some reason, your body is in good shape. The wounds that you got, the bruises, you're actually feeling really good. You can't get over that. You just feel a little slimy. Like you're not wounded. You're not in any pain whatsoever, but you feel slimy.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, feel like there's a worm crawling under your skin from every injury you had. It's not painful. It just feels like there's just a worm crawling. Mind you, the wound that feels around it, perfectly healed. No scar even on some of the ones that were slightly deeper. But it just feels disconcerting. It takes you 9 minutes before finally, it only takes you about 5 minutes. But 9 minutes before finally, like, everything feels normal. But it was weird. It just felt like the muscles were growing or living for a little while around every injury you had. But otherwise, after 9 minutes, you do feel it goes away and you're back to normal.
Okay.
But you're at 180 HP and you're feeling great.
Wait, what?
You're at 100 HP and you feel great.
100%.
100?
Oh, wait, no, 100%.
yeah,
my
sorry,
bad,
I'm all
my
like,
bad,
wow.
my bad, yeah.
I went up 100 HP.
Not yet.
That would be like triple expensive.
Right? Okay. So, as you guys get to the cutoff, Shadow has been making his way kind of after you guys, and then right before, as you guys are coming up to where the tunnel cutoff is, you see him basically start finding a trail. He calls out to you, "Oh, I got something over here," smelling what appears to be... You actually see him get on the ground and smell it, and he goes, "Child shampoo. It's definitely the girl was moved here." You see him start walking, and you see the entrance to the cave. Well, the cutoff, my bad, the tunnel. And you see him actually deviate from that about 40 feet. And then you see, as you're going, you can make an observation check to see now that he's actually kind of pointing it out as he goes. I don't think you're probably paying attention.
36.
I'm looking through my bag to find the UV light. Because something tells me a UV light might be handy.
94.
Okay,
I see
he's moving, you're following. You see that as he's moving his hands, you see him actually making out what appear to be child's shoe prints. and it looks like there's drag marks and scrape marks off of these child's shoe prints. And it appears also you see him start looking around, and you see him what appear to be large animalistic footprints that you can't make out, that he seems to be moving brush aside, dusting off some things, and he's tracking it. Once he goes about 50 feet past where the main tunnel cutoff is, you find what appears to be a hole in the ground. And he points out that there are scuff marks over here. And inside of this hole in the ground, you see him take his flashlight as he gets around it. You can look too. It's about a 20-foot drop. And he points out that it looks like the last drag marks that he points out for the small child shoes are about 10 feet from the hole. And then there are some marks that look like it was dragged in. So this definitely was not as he tells you, this was definitely not a child falling into a hole. It looks like these drag marks go out for about 50 feet. And it looks like something big was just forcing her down this way, as far as I can tell.
We should be ready for something.
He says that something big. This girl, even if she tried fighting, didn't even seem to slow it down. These footprints are steady. That's all I can tell from here. Yep, and basically you see, if you want to secure a line, there's a tree nearby, about 7 feet away, that you can secure a line to drop a rope down the hole. It's only 20 feet, so it's not even something I'm going to make you do an agility check. You can just hold on and let yourself drop down. It's not hard. Which will put you about in this location here on the map, for reference.
Alright, I'll anchor a rope. How far into the tunnel are we?
We're not in the tunnel. Yeah, this is a offshoot.
How far away from the police officers are we?
Approximately 80 feet through a small tree line.
Alright. Yell out to the police. Hey, officers!
Yeah.
One of you come take a peek at this, here. Keep an eye on it.
Mind you, at 80 feet, you'd have to scream to get them to hear you. But one hears, and you hear trudging through the tree line. It's only approximately you went around, so this is like straight to the tree line, if you get the reference.
Yeah.
So the one guy comes through. It's one of the cops.
The one that pulled his gun?
High or low?
Low.
No, it's the one who didn't put his hand on his gun. I do that when I don't have an answer, just to make it easy.
No, I know.
So yeah, he walks over.
Officer, it looks like she was pulled down here, so we're apparently going to go down and take a look. So if you wouldn't mind just staying out the top here and make sure that the line here stays secure, it'd be appreciated.
All right. He nods and you see him get on his radio, just standard information.
That's exactly why I let him know.
Yep. No, but he does kind of cordon off the area. You see him take a flashlight, just check around, and fruit. Okay. What's the damage?
Right. So you want to take a break here, and then we'll go down the hole, Sam?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right, so we're going to take a break here. If you enjoy, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, and we'll be back shortly.